Hey everybody. If you've injected testosterone enathate or you're considering it, hopefully this video will give you some answers and maybe even send you in a different direction. Let's get into it. First, with a little story time. A couple years back, I went to my IRL source and said, hey, I want some testosterone cypionate. And he said, why? I said, well, it's because it's what I want. And he said, well, I've got some testy. And I said, fine, whatever, give me that. And I told him, I'm going to inject this into my delt. And he said, no, don't. I'm like, okay, why? Oh, I found out why. Because if I would have put that into my delt or anywhere but my glute, I would have been in some serious shit. Wouldn't have been able to walk, wouldn't have been able to use my arm for about a week and a half. Because that's how long I had that lump upon first injection. And continue to have this issue. So, with that being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes. If you're having, and I'll almost guarantee you are, PIP or lumps or knots after injecting, here's some answers. From what I've gathered from others who seem to have an idea of what's been going on, this is a known issue since the manufacturing of raw testy changed in China back in 2017. It's now causing bad PIP and knots and lumps. And there's no way to avoid this if you're getting your raws or UGL that was manufactured from raws from China. You just can't. There's no way to get away from it. Or if they're using the same manufacturing process as China, you're still in the same boat. I know that India does make raws, but their raws go to the pharmaceutical manufacturers. I know guys there that get their raws from China because their government has their raws on lockdown. They cannot get it in their own country. So they're still having this issue too. So the UGL stuff coming out of India, China raws, causing PIP, causing knots. So what is the Gremlin? Well, apparently the culprit is the use of phenol or carbolic acid during the manufacturing process, which changed sometime in 2017. I'm not a chemist, so I can't verify this. If you have any inside knowledge, please leave a comment below. There is some pain mitigation that we can do. Some say warming up the oil before pinning can make a small difference. It has helped a little bit. I'm assuming that the compound is crystallizing and it's making the issue even worse, or just injecting cold oil doesn't help either. And it hurts every time. Sometimes more, sometimes less. For some people, if they're having it leak out, they can use the Z-pinning method. And this has helped a little bit. You pull or stretch the skin over to the side a little bit before you perform the injection. After removing the needle, the oil won't leak as much between the muscle and the fat. Some guys have had it. I've had it. I pull the needle out, oil starts coming out where I just pinned. If you're not so lucky, it will leak in between the fat and the muscle. And you know what? That is not pleasurable by any means. But there is a way to stop that or lessen that leakage, and that's with that Z-pinning method. If you've had like a really bad case of it, which I have, you're going to know, because wherever you pin, it's going to feel like it's draining down. So if you pin in your glute and it starts draining down your thigh for a week, it's not fun. Now, I've heard guys applying like an ice pack to help alleviate the pain. It can help. I don't know. I haven't, if I would have known that beforehand, I would have done it. I haven't had it happen since then, but it just wasn't fun. If you have a localized PIP, applying a heating pad or taking a really, really hot shower and just blasting hot water on that location or massaging it a little bit might help alleviate some of the discomfort. But when I do it, we're still getting lumps and knots and pain for 7 days to a week and a half, if not longer. And it sucks. Pin size is irrelevant for this issue. So, well, you're using not a long enough pin. No, I use 1 inch. I've tried 1.5 inches. That's too long for me. It feels like it's coming out the other side. I don't have as much fat. So I have overly developed muscles where I'm pinning. So I'm hitting it, trust me. And I don't need more than 1 inch. And it doesn't matter the gauge. It doesn't matter if it's 30, 25, or 23. It still knots. And it doesn't matter if I'm pushing the oil slow. It doesn't matter if it's the quad, the glute, the ventral glute, the delt. It's going to cause pain. It's going to cause lumping. The PIP, for me, it's the knots. So some are saying, what about the carrier oils or solvents or even the dosage? It doesn't matter what oil. And it doesn't matter if it's UGL or homebrew. I'm still having that issue. It doesn't matter if it's 200 milligrams or 250 milligrams. It doesn't matter if I'm using less BB or more BB or less BA or more BA. It's still causing pain, still causing knots. A possible solution that has been voiced is when you homebrew, heat it up to 110 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes, and that should allow the phenol, carbolic acid, they're the same thing from what I was told, to evaporate. Now, I have yet to hear anybody say they've had 100% success doing this. This is basically what I do already. I was already doing this. I was already heating it up and stirring to almost this exact temperature. So for this amount of time, is it maybe causing less lumping? Maybe. I kind of doubt it because I couldn't imagine how much worse it could be. So if you've had success, please leave a comment below. I've heard of other people overheating it and damaging the product, and it basically makes it useless. Oh, and guess what? Still causing lumps, still causing PIP. My final thoughts. I've heard other people just going with other esters and they're having little to no PIP, mostly no PIP. They'll go with like Test-Sip. But I've heard other compounds like that use that enathate ester causing the same PIP issue. Guys using Primo, it's causing PIP. Is it the way China's making it with that acid? Probably. I don't talk to too many guys that are using Masti, so I'm about to brew some myself. About to find out. But this is the problem. Just go with a different ester. This is the only thing I can think of at this point. Thanks for watching.